Hi, welcome back to Michael Newton Golf. Thanks for joining us here. If you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed, please consider hitting that subscribe button, logo in the bottom right hand corner of the screen, MNG. Hit the bell icon, get notifications of any future video. So this video here we're going to look at grip pressure and also your tempo, and I think the two are very much connected with each other. So through coaching in the studio here, I tend to find grip pressure with a lot of pupils is very, very tight. You know, they're really hanging on for dear life. And when that happens, I think it also then creates a faster or more jerkier sort of tempo through the swing. So this is where the two are very much connected. So many of us out there striving to smooth the tempo off. It's one of the comments I get most of my channel is regarding my swing. It's so smooth, it generates so much power. But I think a lot of golfers will strive to get that smoothness in the swing of that tempo, but they often overlook grip pressure, which can be a cause of it. So we're going to talk a little bit about grip pressure in this particular video, and maybe what I'd like you to do, if you've got a chance here, if you've got a club near you as you're watching this video, is just get hold of a golf club and maybe just sort of grip it if you can. And think of it as a scale 1 to 10. So 1 is literally like you're going to let go of the golf club if you're swinging it, and 10 being like as hard as you possibly can pressure wise. Now when you grip that club or that grip tighter, you feel a lot of tension create in the hands, but that tension also then gets transferred up into the forearms. The forearm muscles are contracting, and also up into maybe into your chest area where everything starts to tense and tighten up. And obviously that's going to affect the flowiness of the actual golf swing itself. So which I say we're trying to strive to get a nice smooth tempo, yet grip pressure's really tight. That's going to create some very jerky swings. So what I'm going to do here, using that scale, I'm going to hit maybe a couple of shots here with a very tight grip pressure. So I'm going to maybe talk about sort of 8, 9, possibly 10 on that scale there. So very, very tight, obviously much tighter than what I would sort of feel or what I would generally use. And I'm going to sort of measure that on the GC2 here with some numbers. We'll see what actually happens. I'm going to try and keep the speed as I would normally do, but I'm going to put the pressure in there. And then I'm going to hit a few with a very light pressure and just see how, I'm going to give you some feedback of how it felt to me, but also then maybe look at some numbers and see if there's any differences of those numbers, whether it's club head speed, whether it's ball speed or directional improvements there. We'll have a little look. So I've got myself set out at 173 from this green. So as I say, I'm going to grip in that pressure around that sort of 9, 10 area on that scale. So this is really tight. I'm going white knuckle job here. So let's give this first one a hit. Oh, right. Okay, that wasn't a bad strike, but I've left that a bit to the right. That's going to actually miss the green. That felt, I think, obviously aside the pressure I'm feeling my hands on the handle of the golf club here, up in my arms was really, really tight. That's the biggest thing I'm feeling. But if you imagine if you're a golfer and you don't realise your grip pressure's tight, something we overlook, but if you've been doing that for a long time, that will feel normal to you. That won't feel any different. So it's not, to me, that feels massively different. Clearly I wouldn't do that normally because it's so different. And it's the same for any other golfer. You know, if you do something for such a long time, you get used to it, you accept it as being the normal, and you know, it doesn't feel any different. But I think, right, I'm going to hit another one here. This is pretty tight. That wasn't too bad. I do feel a bit more quick, a little bit more rushed in the swing there. Again, I struck that pretty well, to be honest. Hit the green that time, but again, the feelings were, it feels like everything's very tight in through that backswing as muscles are contracting. It feels very sort of restricted and tight here. It just basically feels really hard work to actually swing the golf club. Okay, so we're going to hit a couple of shots now with a very, very light pressure. So I'm going to think on this, again, this scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being literally letting go of it. I'm going to think around this sort of 3 and 4 area, so it's quite a light pressure here. And it's funny, one of the old things that stuck into my mind when I did my PGA training at the Professional Golfers Association, one of the big things in the old training manual was the grip pressure was very much, or you should feel like it's as if, imagine if you're gripping a tube of toothpaste and the cap is open, that no toothpaste will come out of the tube. Okay, now I think many of you golfers out there will be thinking, wow, you know, I've probably just covered my bathroom mirror with toothpaste here because my grip pressure is that tight. I think that's quite an extreme thought there, because obviously that is incredibly light. And I think naturally as you swing the golf, you are going to tighten the pressure a little bit I think naturally as you would do to keep all the golfers. Not many golfers would swing and just let go of it because the pressure's so light. But in this case here, I'm going to use this sort of 3-4 area here, so very much light here. I hardly feel any tension on my hands, definitely no tension up those forearms into my upper arms. That's a nice strike. Very nice high ball flight. That looks to be quite straight as well. Right, that was a bit strange. I couldn't quite work out what happened on my screen there because the vision took me to the front of the green and the ball was coming back off the front of the green. I thought, well, I can't spin it back that much, and I've actually hit the flag. I've hit that as arrow straight because I thought that was a good shot there. It felt like it went a lot further than where it actually finished on the front of the green, but that's actually hit the flag full on and shot it back down the front of the green. So you see there, that's carried at 173 and actually come back to 155. So I've lost nearly 20 yards of distance there through hitting that flag. But it probably goes to show, lighter grip pressure, you're going to hit the flags. You know, there's the end of video. Right, okay, I'm going to hit another one there. That was obviously a very nice shot hit there. But again, going back to a feeling there, the pressure in the handle, just more relaxed. It feels more freer coming back and through. Doesn't feel that tight sort of feeling on that backswing. So just a better feeling, more effortless sort of feel to the golf swing. Okay, I'll hit this last one. So I'm going to feel that again, that 3-4 rating on that chart. Very light pressure, probably a little bit lighter than what I would normally do, to be honest. Oh, that's beautiful. I need to do this more often. That's a great shot again there. Struck that fantastic there. Really good golf shot. Hitting the green, not obviously quite as good as that first one there, but the flight of it, the feel of it, the effortless feel was so different to those first few with that real tight grip pressure. So maybe one extreme to the other there in terms of pressure, but maybe just again, it's hard for me to put out my feelings here to you guys. But what I would say is challenge you to go on that range on the practice area next time you're there and try that. Think of that scale, go really sort of tight, hit some shots, get a feeling for that, see what your strike's like. Now I struck those pretty well with that tight grip, but the feelings were horrendous. It felt just so restricted, hard work, you know, really difficult to get the swing working. And then try and go into that really light pressure and see how your ball striking is, how much better it is, or if it might not actually be better. But then try and move around that scale a little bit in terms of that pressure. Just do a little bit of experiments and see what works for you. But definitely, if you're looking at a smoother tempo, take a look and a long, hard look at your grip pressure. So just quickly look at those numbers on the launch monitor there between the tight grip pressure, which I've actually didn't change the name of it, actually just called a 7-iron there, against the light grip pressure. It's interesting to note there, club head speed and also that ball speed there. So you can see with the tighter grip pressure, very, very tight. My club head speed is actually reduced. So yes, my tempo was a little bit quick, which sometimes we associate with more speed. That could be more distance. But actually the club head speed was 86.9 mile an hour there. Now, as I lightened the pressure off, the speed was then just jumped up a little bit to 88.7 mile an hour. So a little bit of an increase in club head speed there, which in return has given me a little bit more ball speed at 120.6 against the 118.2. So that feel of being a little bit lighter in that pressure is allowing me to swing the club smoother, but actually create more speed, which is an interesting scenario there, which sometimes goes against what we sometimes think of. Obviously, quicker equals more speed, more distance. Sometimes that isn't always the case, and that's definitely proved that on that particular couple of shots I've hit there. Okay guys, thanks very much for watching. Appreciate you watching the videos as always. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, very much appreciated. Hit that bell icon to get notifications of any future videos. Follow my social media platforms. So I'm on Twitter, which is @MNGolfCoach, but I'm also on Instagram and do a lot of Insta stories. So stay tuned for my day-to-day runnings here at the Academy. And that is also @MNGolfCoach. Thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll catch up with you all very soon.